Boss Cowboy, man, with Boss Cowboy Sports. I mean, for everybody that's been begging for positivity, you go get it today. Because we got some good stuff to talk about, man. You know, because we focus on correcting a lot of problems. That's primarily what we do. But that can sometimes take away from what's going on that's extremely good. So we go take the time to talk about what's obviously extremely good going forward for the Dallas Cowboys. And if you need to know what that is, it's pretty simple. It is the defense for the Dallas Cowboys. The defense for the Dallas Cowboys is one of the best things going, and it ain't even close. So y'all get ready, because we're going to be talking about this today. We're going to open up the phone lines on some freestyling this Thursday. So y'all give me a second. I'm going to be behind the scenes, building a plane, and I'm going to be right back. Because this defense is already looking like it got the raw tools to lead us to the 2023 Super Bowl. Yeah, I said it. And I'm going to talk about that a little bit more. I'll be right back. Talk about this defense. Yeah, man, we're gonna talk about defense today. Yes, easy work, baby. Can't wait. Let's go. Yeah, man. It's the good stuff. It's the good news. This is where we can sit back and enjoy. You hear me? Yeah, we can sit back and just relax. Not fully, we hold them accountable too. But hey, man, they got their stuff together on that defensive side. So I can't wait to talk about it. I promise you, it's gonna be worth it. So y'all definitely stay with us. All right, man. I see y'all coming in the building. Yeah, man, we got a lot to talk about today with this defense, and I'm excited, man. So, before we kind of get heavy into the content, I always say hello. Let me turn this down a little bit. I don't want that too loud. That'll take away from what I'm saying. But, I wanted to kind of talk about the defense because, like I was saying in the intro, at Boss Cowboy Sports, we spend a lot of time trying to solve problems. And when you spend a lot of your time focused on ways to improve, sometimes you can come across negative. And it's not that we trying to be negative, it's just that we are aggressively trying to eliminate the risk that could hold us up from winning 6. So I'm gonna tell you a story that's a true story, and then I'm gonna get into the content. This is a true story I'm getting ready to tell you. When I graduated from the University of Houston with my first degree in economics, I had a hard time. I went out into the job market. I wasn't the best student because I was fully focused on football and school was secondary to me. And so when I went out to the job market, I was having all these odd jobs with a college degree. And I knew I was better than that. I was like, man, you can do better than that. You also dropped out the business school to compete with your guys when you was a senior, because that was the only option you had, either get a degree in economics or, you know, finish in business and not play out your senior year with your guys. Well, I chose economics. But then I was regretting it. And so I went back to school and I was aggressively getting into the best programs in the business school. And because I was already in the workforce and I knew how hard it was to be in the workforce and not having the best resume to market yourself and a lot of credentials coming out of college, I was aggressive about standing out in college. All right, y'all just stay with me, because this got something to do with the Cowboys. And so I was in a program, an entrepreneurship program and a sales program. So put it like this, in both of those programs, out of 5,000 people in the business school, only 40 was allowed in each one of those programs. And I was in both. So just listen. So I was remember I was hungry, and I was feeling like, man, you failed the first time when you had your economics degree and you really didn't hit the workforce and make a name for yourself and for your family. And so I was making all A's. I mean, A+. I was killing school. I was rocking school. And I was taking a banking management class, and one guy, this professor, gave me a 95.5, which was an A-. And I was flipping out. Listen to me. I was flipping out. And I was talking to my mentor because I was mad. I was like, come on, man, a 95.5? You saying you can't round that up? I want all A's when I graduate. I want to be the top of this school, period. And my mentor, I was having lunch with my mentor, and he was looking at me. And he was looking at me like this. He was looking at me like this. And I said, yeah, man, he need to give me an A+. I need that A+. And my mentor did me like this. He said, all right, Marcus. He said, okay, let's just rewind. He said, so you in the sales program? I said, yeah. He said, how many people in there? I said, 40. He said, how many people get in out of 5,000? Only 40. Okay. He said, you also in the entrepreneurship program. How many people in there? 40. Out of how many? 5,000. He said, and you've been making consistently all A's for your last 15 courses. I said, yes, all A's, and this is messing me up. He said, Marcus, he said, listen, you cannot ever fall for what you're going through right now, where you have all this greatness going on in your life. It's so many people that got rejected out of the entrepreneurship program and rejected out of the sales program, and yet you're there. You getting ready to have 3 degrees in about 2 months, and you are putting all your energy on an A-. He said, never forget that. And I was like, so what's my point? It's a lot of A+ going on with the Dallas Cowboys. A lot of A+ now. We have focused on this channel on the A-, on the C's, on the D's, because we want to convert those to A's. But this show is about where we getting A+, baby. That D.
Yoga fire.
And I want to go back to the words of my mentor. Is don't let all of us let's not get so focused on just what's negative to where we miss out on what's extremely positive right now for the Dallas Cowboys. When I say extremely positive, I mean extremely.
Yoga fire.
All right. So I could focus on so much when it comes down to this defense. All right. I could focus on the Quinn showing the common sense all throughout the entire time he's been here. I could focus on how he displayed faith and intelligence to put Micah Parsons on the edge. Now, a lot of people say nobody saw it coming. No, we saw it. The OC said on draft day that if they put Parsons on the edge, he said this on draft day. He said he would get you 8 to 10 sacks easily. He said that on draft day when we got him. And I said, when Tank got hurt, I say, before we go acquire a player, we need to go put Parsons out there. See what he do. Because he got the raw skills. Penn State showed that. Now, a lot of people say he wasn't on the edge. He showed being at Penn State. You probably just didn't watch another tape. But for those who broke him down like the OC and me, we was confident that he could play off that edge. But it wasn't just about our opinion. It was about the guy who makes the ultimate decision doing it, who was Dan Quinn. Dan Quinn actually did it. So we could talk about that. We could talk about the fact that he had to play rescue all season and showed excellent crisis management.
Yoga fire.
Now, I said excellent crisis management. How many people could lose your best defensive player in game 2 in Tank, and by game 7 we wasn't even missing Tank? Am I lying? No, I'm telling you the truth. I'm not lying. And that's because of the A+ that we have on defense. So yes, I'm very concerned on Kellen Moore. Yes, I'm concerned about the politics and all that kind of stuff that get in the way of our success. All of that's true. But that does not take away from the A+ that's almost universal on the defense. Wait. So I could focus on a lot when it comes to the defense. I could make this a 2-hour presentation if I wanted to. I really could. But I'm only focused on 3 things. I might do another show where I focus on the rest and the genes of this defense. But right now, I'm going to focus on 3 things that's just exponential, right? So let's start with number 1. So we can also have some optimism going into the season, right? Because we do have reasons to be optimistic. Number 1, we are building on a quick defensive turnaround. That's number 1. See, let's just stop. Just like my mentor stopped me, he slowed me down and he gave me the bigger picture of where my life was headed. Because I was so concentrated on that A-. He was like, boss, listen, your education and the programs you in and the networks that you're building, you getting ready to take off in life. You know what I mean? And he didn't let me get bogged down on just the negative A-. He was like, man, listen to me talking about a negative A-. Like so many of us would take any kind of A, and I was mad about an A-. I'm talking about mad. But that's how we are too. It's been 26 years since we've been to a Super Bowl, and we're angry, and we so locked in that sometimes we get away from like stuff that's really happening. So let me show you this real quick, just to remind you, and let's think about this. Remember, last year, our defense was considered the worst, or one of the worst, bottom 2 for sure. And how quickly did it turn around? To the point, do we even discuss defense anymore? Do we talk about defense anymore? No. The whole talks and all the concerns is on offense. Think about it. What was we saying last year was the key for us winning? We were saying we need to get that offense to be so good to where that defense can just drag on and just hopefully be good enough. They just can't be worse. We want them to be 17. They was way better than 17. And they was number one on what matters most to wins, the turnover margin. Number one. And they was out of control from day one getting the ball. So even when you go back to this article from Todd Archer, this was from August 5th. And he was talking about, in his article, he did a good job because he was talking about obviously training camp, but it was a trend that was happening in that training camp. In that training camp, that defense kept giving Dak them hell. Ooh, y'all don't remember that? It was interceptions almost every day. We was watching Marcus Kennedy. Then we'd watch somebody else get an interception. It was Nashawn Wright. It was like every day. And he was like, that's when he wrote this article, because he was out there looking with his eyes, and he was like, this could be worst to first. He said that in August. Yeah, and he was saying because they wanted to change the narrative. Now, let me ask you a question. Did they change the narrative? Yeah. Yes. They changed the narrative. This is an A+ for us. This defense is an A+ for us. I'm going to take a call because I did promise this is freestyle. Because you know I can go all day. I keep talking. Let me turn the phones on. All right, so I got the phones rocking. Here we go. All right, so y'all know if y'all don't call in and we don't talk about this, I'm going to just keep going. I'm going to get through with this content. But I'm going to slow down real quick, put the call line up, and let's just talk. But I'm going to give y'all a second to call in. But if you don't call in, I'm going to finish what I'm talking about. Because that's number one. That turnaround was extremely fast. That was what Quinn and his staff did, and Stephen Jones, give him credit, give Jerry credit, and give Will McClay credit. What they all did in 1 year usually takes around 3 on a rebuild. Think about what I just said. To go from one of the worst to one of the best, who does that in 1 year? So y'all not calling, so I'm gonna go to my second point. All right, because it might be too early in the day. I know how it is. Y'all used to these nighttime shows. Y'all not used to me popping up as y'all headed home. So check this out from work. So I'm gonna go to my second point on the defense, while I'm focusing on the A's, not the A minuses, not the C's and the D's, not the politics, not the distractions. But what's good? What's real good? What can we hang our hat on? What can we rest in? Okay, we got a call. Here we go. Boss Cowboy Sports.
Hey, boss, how are you?
Good. Who is this?
This is Sam.
Oh, Sam. Long time, man. Give us your knowledge.
Long time, yeah. I tried to get in yesterday, but I couldn't get through, so I'm glad I got in today.
Okay, what you got, man? I know you've been keeping up. What's on your mind?
Yeah, this was interesting.
Okay, I'm gonna call you back, Sam. I don't know why, but the phone just disconnected. Let me call you back, cause Sam be bringing that heat. We call him back. Sorry about that, y'all. I don't know what happened.
Hello?
Sam, I don't know what happened. Keep going.
I was just basically trying to say, can I get your projection on Sam Williams? What do you think he's going to bring to the defense this year? I feel like he could be the key. Like last year, Micah and Diggs, taking that leap was really helpful for the defense, taking the big step. I feel like Sam Williams has the potential, but you don't want to put too much on him. And the second thing, he's not defense per se, but I heard on Chat Sports that Todd Archer from ESPN said that Gallup should be back by Game 4 at the latest.
Mm-hmm.
So I just want to get your thoughts on that too.
Okay. So first, to start with Sam Williams. Sam Williams is slept on, in my opinion, by the nation. Mainly because we are, I think, subconsciously comparing him to Micah Parsons. So Micah Parsons was such a freak that we not recognizing that he's also just as much a freak. If I put it like this, if Parsons is freak A plus, he's freak A minus. You know what I mean? And the reports on him are similar to what it was with Parsons last year, to where he kept standing out coming off the edge. And on top of that, it's not just the fact that he's standing out, it's the fact that he's now partnered with some of the better coaches that are now proven coaches for the Dallas Cowboys, like Aiden Dirty and then obviously Dan Quinn. He's working directly with some of the best coaches and teachers, and he got a lot of leadership around him. So my arrow is extremely up for Sam Williams, and I'm on record putting him on my breakout player, and I had that announcement as Tuesday. Now, in terms of Michael Gallup, to be honest with you, Sam, I just got to be all the way honest.
You are fake news.
I don't believe it. I don't believe he's going to be back by week 4. No, I don't believe it. I just think about it. He went out in January.
Yeah, no. Yeah,
I mean,
it will be quick.
That's
They
too
said the only
quick.
thing that kept me a little bit of hope, when Stephen Jones said 2 or 3 games, that meant for me that it's probably going to be 6 or 7. But then, because like last year they kept saying Tristan Hill is going to be coming right back, and that took a long time. Tank, they took extra time with Tank getting back. It seems like they take a very, I mean, it probably might be good in the long run, but anytime they tell you an estimate on an injury return, you gotta at least like double it, because they just take longer than they say. But
Yeah.
they said there's like a new ACL surgery that he might have tried out that might have shortened the recovery time. So I'm with you though. Like my brain says that it should be that we probably won't see him until middle of the season. My heart's hoping that like it could be like a faster recovery, but we'll see.
Think about it. We lost Tristan Hill around week 4. We didn't see him the following season until mid-season.
Yeah.
We lost Gallup in January.
Yeah.
I don't care if Zeus came down and did the surgery. You know what I'm saying? Or Archangel Michael. Man, this, like, what kind of surgery do you come back from January to September on the ACL? Sure. So this is also this is me thinking out loud, Sam. You might be right, and they might be telling the truth. But this is the season where they also selling us optimism and false hope, but they also know behind the scenes.
Wrong.
So that's my answer on both. I'm high on Sam
All right.
Williams. I'm not optimistic about Michael Gallup even coming back by November. I think we might see him by December, mid-December at best. That's me.
If it takes that long, they got to go out and get someone. Like, because
Yeah.
like I don't know, unless Tolbert, because it'll only take, you know, God forbid, you know, something like, you know, even like a concussion or something, and like Lamb is out for like a game or two. Now you're talking about having Tolbert as your number 1, and like, you know, and was it James Washington as your number 2? That's a bit much for a rookie to, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
if that happens, hopefully they use that $20 million. 'Cause that's also getting on my nerves. Like all last year, all we heard about was, oh, the cap this, the cap that. And you got to think about the cap. You got to cut. You know, they cut Tristan. They cut Leo Collins. Since, like, you know, they cap or trade Coop, and then you end up with $23 million in free cap space. Like, you know what I mean? Obviously, there are other things going on with like, they're releasing and trading Coop and Collins, but like, I just feel like what was cap space after hearing just hearing about it all the time, they better do something with it. If not, I'm just be pissed.
Yeah, I mean, get ready to be pissed.
Yeah, no.
Right?
Yeah.
Just because we take chances. We do. We gamblers. We gambled last year, but the gamble paid off last year. It was very much risky to hold out in the veil as long as we did, as thin as that interior was, but we did. It was very risky to hold out Tristan Hill as long as we did, with as thin as that interior was, but we did. You know, so Stephen Jones, I know my boy Big Game James call him baby nuts. I think he got big nuts. I really do. I think he's very bold in a kind of wild way, to where your common sense and my common sense is saying that we do need a little bit more depth in that wide receiver room. He looking at it like, I want to count on Michael Gallup coming back 9 months after ACL and he's going to be just as good.
Yeah.
I ain't buying
Yeah,
it.
Stephen Jones is another. He don't even. I honestly like. I think he don't care about winning. Like he cares about. He's like a trust fund kid, right? So like the person, like Jerry Jones is invested in the team. Stephen Jones just cares about making as much money as like hoarding the money so he doesn't lose it. So like.
Yeah.
Like I hate to say it, but like I don't know. Like when he becomes owner of the team, I'm hoping that like Charlotte or someone else, because he like his whole MO is just crazy.
No, and see, I think you're right. See, because a lot of people say Sam is crazy. How dare you say they're not interested in winning? Yeah, they interested in winning. It's just not first. It's like lower on their priority list. I think they want to be relevant. You know what I mean? I think they just want to keep us good enough to be relevant. Because as long as we relevant and we're around 8-8 or winning, then they can always try to get us to buy into new hope the following season. But if they go all in to the point to where they feel like they have to do a full rebuild, then we're not relevant, and they don't want to lose the cash cow that comes with having us hope. So
that's exactly it. Like in the end, like his number one priority, I think, is like money, right? And winning or like being relevant is a good way to put it. That still gets you money. Like I don't think there's people are still going to buy tickets and buy merchandise,
right?
And it's still going to be like the number one draw on TV. No matter like if we 12-5 or 15-2. So I think in his mind, that extra money that you're going to go out there and spend, to get an Anthony Barr or to get a Bobby Wagner or something like that. Like, why do you need to do that? Like they'll help you win, but it's not going to help you, it's an expense or almost the sake of an expense in his mind a little bit, I think. You know what I mean? So, like, I think
can I add,
right on that.
Can I add one more thing to our conspiracy theory sauce?
What is it?
I think it's also, just me thinking out loud, I think it's also ego. Because partially, some of this is about trying to do it their way. Because he got this my own guy's philosophy, right? So going out to get outsiders is not the Cowboys' way, So to protect their way, they go bet on the guys inside, like LVE, versus just going to upgrade and getting an easy upgrade with an Anthony Barr. Because we're betting on our guys, and this is our way. That's the only thing I want to add to our conspiracy.
No, you're right. I think it's the whole mindset of like them being, the Cowboys and being like, one of the iconic franchises. The Steelers have the same thing. Like they actually don't like to hit free agents. So you notice Big Ben or all the receivers they had throughout the years, or TJ Watt, all those guys were drafted, and then they rely on keeping their guys. They don't like to go outside and get outside free agents. And a lot of this is like arrogance in terms of like, okay, it's our, we're the best, so we're like the most, established, and when we pick someone, we need to know them and get to know them rather than bringing in someone from the outside because we can't, we just don't know. And so like that arrogance is what, like, you see that in other sort of institutions like that. I think you're absolutely right.
Yeah. But Sam, I always enjoy your calls, man. Thanks for calling in. And if you got anything else, man, in the call lines, slow call back, and then we'll talk more football as I go through this content.
All right, good stuff. I'll see you in the chat.
Okay, Sam. All right, that was Sam, man, making his voice matter. He was trying to get in yesterday, and he always bring that sauce, man. That's why I love, and I really do love freestyles. Freestyling is the best because y'all always bring quality content to the table. My boy, I'm going to take one more call before I get back into it. Boss Cowboy Sports.
What's up, boss? This is Black with her, man.
What's up, Black man? Get it in. I'm feeling much better now. I was rushing you yesterday. My nose was sniffling. You encourage. You was like, I still want to talk. I'm trying to give you every clue that I'm hurting. I'm sniffling. You like, nah, I don't care. I got something to say. What's up, man?
I got you. Hey, look. Hey, can we give DeMarcus Lawrence his flowers, though, man?
What?
Cause I don't. Hey, look. We always talking about Parsons. We talk about Sam Williams and stuff. I don't hear enough people giving D-Law his credit, man.
Hey.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we really had 3 turnover machines last year.
Yes.
It was Parsons, Diggs, and D-Law.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And he was leading, you know what I'm saying? The way he was leading us last year was you know what I'm saying, different. And I don't think he was getting enough credit for it. You know what I'm saying? Like when the offense was struggling. And I mentioned this on your Twitter page when you posted the picture of him.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? How when the offense was struggling, you know what I'm saying? How he went out, he stepped out there, challenged that, you know what I'm saying?
To
with
the turnovers
versus the defense,
yeah,
stuff like that.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? He gave us cap space when we needed the cap release. You know what I'm saying? He out there helping groom the young players and stuff like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? He while still producing on his own. Like, you know what I'm saying? D-Law out there, jump. He doing what we need to be doing, like what we need in our veteran players, you know what I'm saying? And he leading the charge with it all, you know what I'm saying? Like, we need to be giving him his flowers. So when they be saying we need to take care of our guys, I just hope they do right by D-Law, man.
Man, you already know what they gonna do. You think they gonna do right by D-Law? You think so?
I don't think they. I don't think they gonna do it, but they need to be showing him that same love that they gave Witten and Sean Lee. Honestly, because that man, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like he bleed that blue and silver, man. You know what I'm saying?
Man, I feel
and the way that he, you know what I'm saying? The way he got that defense out there, John. Going, you know what I'm saying? Like, right now, I honestly believe we're going to have the best pass rush in the league, for real.
Man,
again,
what? Say, wait.
Finish him.
Let me find some buttons.
I think we're going to have the best pass rush in the league again this year. Like, I don't care what they got going on down there in the Charger land and all that stuff. They done added up, like, people ain't understanding what we got going across the board. You got D-Law on one side, Parsons rushing, Sam Williams. You know what I'm saying? We got, man, Osa. I ain't hear nobody even mention the fact that before Osa hit his rookie wall, they had Osa's his pressure rate. They were saying Osa had the 3rd best pressure rate in the league behind J.J. Watt and Aaron Donald at one point before he hit his rookie wall.
A+.
And then Never Gallimore, when he came back, he was just manhandling boys. That man came back as big as he was, and I just think I don't know how big he is now, but if he come back a little bit bigger to play that one tech, it's gonna be up from there, man.
Man, say, listen, that's why I want to focus on the good news today. That defense, you know what I mean?
Man, that defense, bro, you already know, we looking forward to that defense.
Boy,
we know what that defense gonna be like. And Hooker coming down the field too. What?
Man, I'm trying to hit all the buttons over here, dog.
Man,
don't get me going, bro.
Hey, look, that's what I had to share for the day, man. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead and finish the content, man. I just wanted to show love to the defense and D-Law. Get that man his flowers, man. Because I can't wait to see him out there, man, because he challenging Michael Parsons to be even greater right now. You know what I'm saying? You know how much how much that is, you know what I'm saying? Like, Michael was already great, but he's still challenging that man to be greater while still challenging himself. That's you know what I'm saying? That's what leaders supposed to do.
Tank is one of the best leaders by
Out
far.
there. Yep, the best out there. We were
By
questioning his
far.
leadership at one point.
Yeah, it ain't even close. It ain't even close.
It ain't even close, man.
But
it ain't
listen,
even close.
The only reason I left Tank out of this presentation because him and Michael Parsons just too obvious. So I was gonna talk about, you know what I mean? I was gonna talk about the other things. That's why I said it's so much you can talk about this D. I had to just pick 3.
Right.
I just had to pick 3, dog. Because I said I could talk about this D for 2-3 hours straight.
Right. I just wanted to get that man his love. I was just like, man, I don't be hearing nobody mention DeMarcus Lawrence, man. D-Law be his name just be getting swept under the rug. Like, man, D-Law just talking again. They just be ignoring them. They just mention Micah. They just like, oh yeah, we can't wait to see Micah. Nah, I can't wait to see D-Law. D-Law was averaging a turnover a game. Only game he didn't get a turnover in was the playoffs.
Say, this is why I say, and I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna get back to this content, big dog, because I can tell me you can go all day. But check this out. It's because of Tank and Micah is why I'm knowing one of those other defensive edge rushers go get off.
Me too.
Because you gonna have to concentrate on Tank and Micah. If you're offense, you're gonna have to double one of those guys, and it's gonna always allow that remaining defensive edge rushers to have consistent one-on-ones. So it's the making of a good year for whoever is playing on the opposite side of Micah and Tank. It's just what it is. But that's why I put 3 defensive ends as my potential breakout players. I put Armstrong, Sam Williams. Go ahead.
When you going back and look at the early film and you see how Randy Gregory was doing while Michael was getting off, you see that when Randy Gregory was bending off the edge, that Osa was also pushing up the middle too. You know what I'm saying? Before he hit his wall, he was creating hella pressure too. Yeah. So that's why I'm expecting that after a season that Osa getting, you know what I'm saying, his NFL strength, you know what I'm saying, that it's about to be up, man. It's about to be up, man.
All right, so I got to get you off the phone because you done moved to my second point. All right, let me just get you off real quick. You done already this is my second point, what you just said. Expect year 1 guys to get a year 2 game. Yes, that was my second point. Already in the presentation, big dog. That show you how much when we freestyling, we be all on the same page, big dog.
Yeah, I'm with you, bro.
All right, let me talk about that, and then I'll open back up the call lines. If they don't call in, call right back, big dog. This your world, your voice matter.
All right, I got you, bro.
All right, bro. All right, so listen, that was what he just talked about was the heavy point that I want to talk about on my second point on why we should be excited for this A+ defense, because a lot of us, I don't think, are accounting for these young guys that are now going into year 2 where they get their big gains, because some people know this, some people don't. But the biggest gains generally in the NFL is between year 1 and year 2. Okay. So we had some guys that was coming out that people have forgot about. Just like he was saying, people forgot about Tank. People forgot about Nashawn Wright. They not talking about him no more because he was just a special teams player. But see, we talked to his mama, me and Law. That boy finna come back bigger. He go come back faster. He go stir it up. And he was also talking about Osa, who is going into year 2. I cannot imagine another game coming out of him after what we already saw from a rookie. I can't even imagine it. That is just too much for me to even imagine. My brother just walked in. That was me giving him some doubt. Then you got Boss Man. You got the boss going into year 2, who go also take another year up. And everybody talking about the white gorilla, which I'm excited about. But what about Quentin Bohanna? So like it's so many guys that's getting ready to take another step under the Quinn system that it's not even finna be fair when these boys hit the field. It's not even gonna be fair. It's not even gonna be close. And we just talking about those young guys. We're not even talking about the other guys that's gonna also develop into this defense. You know? So I'm telling you, man, point 2. So what it really says is all the guys that we drafted defensively are more so a luxury. See, because when we drafted these guys, we drafted Nashawn Wright as a primary pick. We drafted Osa as anything in the first 3 rounds is considered a primary pick. These guys was expected to play. So they're luxury now. They're luxury. And Quinn has created an environment to where competition is first. It's way less politics on that side of the ball. And it's obvious. We all concerned about the politics on the offensive side of the ball. That's where we were seeing silly stuff like Zeke knee hurt, Pollard is healthy, but they kept playing Zeke. That's where we were seeing the silly stuff like Steele was clearly outplaying La'el Collins, but it was musical chairs versus the Raiders at right tackle, which was foolish. It's the offense to where guys was having to talk about, hey man, I need to get more targets. Amari Cooper, your number 1, having to go beg on the radio to get the ball. You're not seeing none of that stuff on D. The D, they are bought into Quinn. All of them bought into Quinn. And Quinn uses all of them. And he brags on it. Like, and that's what inspires those guys. The defense knows that if I play well, Quinn is going to use me. And it's understood. It is already understood. I'm going to give y'all my last point. Then I'm going to take another call. This is my last point, because trust me, that's a lot more I could talk about with this defense, but I want to spend some time on where we should be all excited, not lukewarm, not angry, not Debbie Downers, not bitter. This is where we should be excited. This is the thing I'm excited about. Doubted coaches overperform on that defense. See, can I be honest, or do y'all want me to lie? Y'all tell me real quick what y'all want me to do.
Yoga fire.
Y'all want me to be honest or you want me to lie? I doubted a lot of these coaches. Huh? Can I be real? See, because I know some people go be fake. I already know. Oh, I always have faith in that D. Sure. You have faith. I mean, full faith. Day 1, let's be real. You had full faith in a D that was ranked 31st. Okay, so now we starting to tell the truth. Yeah, I'm going to be honest. I doubted some of these guys. And the number 1 guy that I doubted, that I'm so happy that I was wrong. Because some people say, Boss, when do you talk about when you wrong? Pay attention. I'm finna tell you right now. Boss, you act like you ain't never wrong. You will pay attention. I'm finna tell you. If you've been waiting on this day, here it come. I was wrong on this dude, 8 and dirty. I was wrong. I was very concerned because his resume, when they first called him the coach of the defensive line, boo-boo garbage resume. He was only a coach for the linebackers for 1 year with the New Orleans Saints, and then was switched under Quinn to the defensive line. It was nothing that was telling me that he was finna take on that mantle and handle it. Nothing. He looked like worse than Kellen Moore. He looked like he was a coach that was above his head, and I was dead wrong.
Wrong.
Wrong as hell. Wrong. He overperformed. Ooh. Think about it. He lost Neville Gallimore in the preseason. His middle was poorish. And he got them boys to play way above their pay grade. Yes, he did. Mr. Aiden Dirty. Yes, he did. When them boys was getting banged up on that line, it was his young responsibility to have those guys come out and still play way above themselves, and he did. Boss, eat your crow. Because I publicly said he was the #1 guy on defense that I was concerned about, because I was like, we was literally ranked one of the worst teams on stopping the run, and we putting a guy with no coaching experience in that job. And I didn't like it. So I told you I was going to be honest. I did not like it. I didn't think it was wise. And I publicly said it. But I'm also going to publicly say Quinn shut me up, and Quinn was dead right on his instincts and trusting Aiden Dirty to be a teacher. And that's what he talked about. He said Aiden Dirty is one of the best teachers and motivators in the league. And Quinn bet on a youngster. He bet on that dude. And I was like, man, this bet not be no good old boy. No, Quinn just gave the guy the job that was deserving, and he handled it. He handled it. So yes, them defensive coach, I'm not even done. It was another coach that I doubted that I'm going to get over here and I'm going to eat some more crow. Al Harris. Ooh, I was on his head. For those who've been following me for a while, y'all know it. Y'all know it. Because I was like, what's this philosophy with bringing in all these tall guys if they not playing? Because he kept bringing in tall guys. And I'm like, you bringing them in, but they not getting no act. So why you focusing on tall guys when all the guys that's starting are small? You keep bringing in these tall guys, and then I'm looking out there and it's Jordan Lewis and it's Anthony Brown. And I'm like, when is your philosophy gonna pay off, big dog? He said, just give me a 1 year, boss, so I can make you
Wrong.
He said, so I can make you
Wrong.
Woo! And I'm talking about them boys turned up under Al Harris. So once again, boss is so happy to eat him some crow. See, I'm happy when I eat crow. Because see, I've been focusing on ways to make us better. So if I'm eating crow, that means they was better without any of my ideas. And I'm cool with that. I'm cool with being wrong. I love it. Al Harris shut boss up. Aiden Dirty shut boss up. And he shut up some of y'all too. But I'm honest. I'm going to admit it. I was on his head. Yeah. So, yeah. Them doubted coaches overperform. Now, it's still a coach now. I'm on his head now. You know me. See, listen. If you know me by now, y'all know. It's a big thing for Boss Cowboy. But to actually say publicly that he drunk Kool-Aid. Listen, I do not drink Kool-Aid without first measuring. Yeah. So, I am concerned about Scott, though. I'm not too happy with that linebacker room. I'm just being honest. see, now I ain't just listen. I ain't gonna listen. As much as I got a lot of optimism on the defense, and I'd have drunk the Kool-Aid last year. I drunk the Kool-Aid last year this time. Man, I ain't drinking that Kool-Aid on that linebacker room. Because if I'm being consistent to how I said I judge coaches, how did I say I judge coaches? I said I judge coaches based on a group. Based on the group, Aiden Dirty, he passed the test. Because his group was not the most talented group. That was a bottom grade, pay grade group. And then it was some switcheroo workaround converting the veil to a 3-2-1. It was a lot of experiments. Aiden Durden never really got a truly quality defensive tackle put into the Dallas Cowboys. He had to work with the gumbo that he was given. Al Harris, look at the group with Al Harris. Just look at the corner group. But then judge the linebacker as a group. Let's just be honest. Which part of the defense let us down? Linebackers. So that is still the group that I'm concerned about, the linebackers. But all in all, that's why we need to go and go get Anthony Barr and quit playing too, just keeping it real. But I feel like from what I've been watching with Quinn and listening to Quinn, one of the main things that Quinn said, I want to remind everybody, one of the main things that Quinn said, he said, I'm happily surprised to see that I never had to set the standard at practice. My guys are policing the young guys on the standard of how we practice. Say, y'all, that's everything. When you already know, when them guys already know the standard of how to practice and how to prepare, to where you don't even have to say nothing, they policing each other, bro, this defense finna be off the chain. Just go and get ready. Just go and get ready. It's the defense right now. This young defense is Super Bowl ready. And they didn't get a lot of help from front office. They didn't get a lot of resources. It was just our guys like George Edwards targeted guys like Curse, guys they believed in that didn't have the names, but the defensive coaches had the vision, like Malik Hooker. Like guys that most of us would have been like, man, say, Malik Hooker? Do y'all know Injury Predictor had a 99% chance that he was going to be re-injured? All right, so let me take a call. We got the phones up. Let's go. All right, so, yeah, but those are my 3 main reasons. All right, here we go. We got Boss Cowboy.
Boss.
What's up, Coach? You calling in from a different number.
Yeah, boss. Yeah, man. Let me tell you, man. I love it, man. I love this show, man. I love this show.
Defense.
I do have yes, but you know something about Dirty, the defensive line coach?
Yeah.
He had mentorship. Quinn mentored that guy. He was where Quinn went, and Quinn mentored that guy.
Facts.
To be, and that's what that guy is dependent on. And Quinn know he has mentored him in the way that he wants him to be, to coach. You know, and yes, he took some of that. Even though he might not have no position, but he has had some years in coaching. He did some overseas as well. You know, so he's been mentored. So yes, he's just a defensive line coach, but he's going through all the steps.
Yeah. He not skipping steps. What you say?
Yeah, he's taking steps.
You say Kelly Moore.
He ain't skipping steps. You know,
Kelly Moore skips.
Eventually, this guy might be a defensive assistant or a defensive coordinator one day.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So that's how you go when you don't misstep. But I will have I still came to judgment is out on the linebackers coach. Let's think about it, boss. He didn't have a deep group, and he got hamstring because he came in with Jalen, and the organization already wanted to get rid of Jalen.
Mm-hmm.
He came in with a guy Neil, but Neil missed 5 games.
Yeah.
First with COVID, then he had the chest thing, right? And then you had then that just leave you with, and then he lost Cop for the whole year. Then that just leave you with Gilbert, LVE, and Parsons. And then you had to convert maybe some of the linebacker position with the curse. But he never got a chance to get his group together for a good period of time. And, they had already pigeonholed to get rid of Jalen anyway. So what I'm going to be concerned about is this year, is he going to allow these rookie guys he got in there, right, to play if they're good enough to play, and to use their aggressiveness and their speed, because there might be some diamonds in the rough there, and not hold on to guys like maybe LV or not let these guys get a shot because you're going to give Gifford a shot or LVE a shot. That's what it's going to see if he can do that.
Right.
Now, how he's going to develop this rookie linebacker group, and a lot of these guys that got rookie free agents that we have talked about that has some talent. This is where this is his proven year at linebacker. Because if they don't get no veteran linebacker, hey, he's going to have to prove it, and he's got to and how he bring Cox along. Because really Cox is a rookie again.
Yeah, he a rookie, right.
Yeah, so this how he brings these guys along. We'll see how well he's doing. But like you said, mentorship. And again, what you said about Quinn saying he don't have to tell people how to practice.
Yeah.
Because he has set the tone. The defensive coordinator coaches the coaches on the defensive side. Mm-hmm. That's his job. Mm-hmm. And he sets a tone with his assistant coaches. And sometimes he gets out there and gets in the mix. But when he gets in the mix, he's trying to really hammer home what he wants them to do.
Yeah.
And sometimes he gets in there and shows them and gets in the drills so he can hammer home how he wants them to be coached.
Yeah.
And then he meets with his veteran guys like Parsons and D-Law and all those stuff, and he gets in their head with talking to them that after a while they just start saying things just like he says them.
Right.
Mm-hmm. That's what coaches do. They set a tone, and you're a reflection of your coach. So that's how you permeate that philosophy through the team. So that's where the defense, where they are on a full understanding of what it takes. And Quinn, I don't know if you talk about Quinn. He got a mantra for the defense. We play violent, fast, and hard. I think something like that. That's and when at the beginning of the season, you had rookie guys in their interviews, and every one of them was talking about that mantra of how we play.
Yeah, they bought in. Yeah, they bought in.
So that's how you do that. You get set a mantra, and then and that's how they play. And then he listens to his players about what. Remember, Parsons always say that Quinn listens to him.
Yep.
About stuff that they like and stuff that they don't like.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that's what I was saying about on yesterday. Mm-hmm. It's about making your players feel like that you're putting them in the best way for them to be successful, not only to win, but to make that paper.
Yeah, but that's clearly what Quinn does.
That's right.
I mean,
And that's what he did with Curse. He put Curse in a situation
Yeah,
where Curse made the biggest payday of his career.
yeah, yeah. That's exactly what he's doing. And then that's why I say we could make this a 4-hour show if we just talked about all the positive things about this D. The green dot on Curse, focusing in on Curse getting paid, which go elevate his voice in the locker room. Man, we'll be talking all day. So
And he didn't shy away from giving Curse responsibilities and playing him because he was scared that he was going to get paid.
nah, don't.
See what I'm saying? Those are small things, boss, but they're the truth. He didn't shy away from guys that was on the roster, because he thought that, well, we want to try to keep them longer. He's going to allow these guys to be in the best situation for them to be successful. For the Hal Harris and for them to praise Anthony Brown, and say, listen, boss man, we gonna give you some time because everybody's gonna play. I think they played like 25 defensive guys this year, right? Mm-hmm. That's a lot. Mm-hmm. That's a lot. They got good playing time.
Yeah, they got good playing time. Yes. Yeah. He is,
and you made him some money.
Yeah, he is that coach that shows if you play hard, I will reward you. It's no politics in Quinn.
And you make some money that way, boss. See, people don't understand this in the NFL, and maybe you know about this, boss. If you outplay your playing time for where you were drafted, at the end of the year you get a stipend. They give you what we call bonus money because you outplayed your pick. So if you play a certain amount of snaps and you're an undrafted free agent, that equates into money.
Right.
You see, people don't understand that about the NFL. If you drafted in the 6th round and you end up being a starter, yes, you get that contract, but they're gonna point out the bonus money that people get because you have to pay them because they have outplayed. That's what they did in the collective bargaining agreement. That's why they gave some incentives for guys that play well, because you can make up to another $300,000 or $400,000 because you outplayed your draft spot. So when you give guys opportunities to play, they got the opportunity and guys appreciate that, and they build competition. Now with the running game, I'm gonna tell you, boss, you know how this is a coaching philosophy. Most teams that have problems with the run check their offensive style of play.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Because most teams that don't really practice the run, that are very pass happy, usually their defenses are not good against the run because you don't see it till Sunday.
And it speed the pace of the game up, so it keep them out there. So it's a whole lot of reason.
There you go. And you don't see it. You don't see the physicality of the run game and the run fits in a very, not live, but in a meaningful manner. You don't have to be live to be committed to do it in practice, right? But it has to be meaningful so you can learn how to make those run fits, and defensive linemen and linebackers have to get that same continuity as offensive linemen of knowing how to work together, how guys come off blocks, who can beat this block, how I know this guy can't reach this guy, I got to slide here, I got to be a little bit more aggressive to this hole because this guy can't get there fast enough. Once they get that continuity with each other, they work like the hand. And it's just that is when they get in sync. When I used to coach, I always kept telling my offensive line, my defensive line, and linebackers, I want y'all to get in sync where you know where you're supposed to be. You got to trust you where you want to be. You hitting the hole, you filling the hole, and the other guy filling the hole at the same time, and you corral things. But you got to get that continuity and trust. And I think Quinn did a great job with the bars being missing most of the year, while getting them to fit. And I think another breakout player, I wanted to say this right quick, that he should put on there. I really do believe, and you might think I'm crazy about this, boss, but Golston and Tristan Hill, listen, film doesn't lie. He only played 7 games. He only played 10 games in 2 seasons. But this is the first time he's been back, and he's coming off that knee injury, and he's going to be in training camp a whole training camp. Because last year, remember, he didn't practice until the season started, till like the 3rd game of the season.
No, I had Tristan Hill in this presentation for a reason. You know what I mean? So I already had Tristan Hill queued up. You know what I mean? Because he's somebody else that I'm betting on. You know what I mean? That I think all your points is dead accurate on Tristan Hill and Golston. I think Golston might need maybe to year 3, because I think especially moving him into the 3 tech, I think it's gonna take him just a little while to get used to the nastiness of that interior. But if he take another leap, Golston, I'm starting to get David Irvin vibes from him, especially if he really handle up on that 3 tech. I'm gonna go ahead and start calling him David Irvin too, if he looks like a fish in water.
Looks like that's a good comp for him. Yeah. And and I'm telling you who's gonna fall off this boat. And I say this to you, and this is my feeling, because as I watch their play, Watson played better, but if you look at the totality of his play, it wasn't as good as we said it was. And with Tristan Hill being practicing all summer, because you got to understand, Carlos Watson got a lot of time this summer because there was no other people there, and really he got a lot of playing, and it carried over to the season. But once Tristan them got in, his playing time got cut. That's the guy that I feel might be the guy, even though they signed him, and they only signed him for very little money, right? And probably only 1-year contract, you're probably not guaranteed. But I believe training camp, the grass will prove that those other 3 techs and 1 tech might be better.
Yeah, it's like Mike Tomlin said, some things buy you time, some things eat up your time. You know what I'm saying?
There you go.
So,
and that's what I was saying about, and Quinn is he's buying these guys time, but he's trying to maximize these guys' time while they're there. And I think this group, and you're right, boss. Your leader, your show is we're gonna have to carry. This is gonna have to be the mantra of this team, to carry this team, because I don't think the offense is gonna be bad, no, but I believe that this defense is going to have to be assisted by the offense, because the offense cannot go out there and be this fast-paced offense and go 3 and out and let this defense play over 65, 70, 80 plays and think the defense is good. But if this defense stays around, I think last year they played an average of 55 to 56 plays. The Cowboys offense last year ran the most plays per game. They was in the top 3 per game, 66 plays per game. But if this defense can stay around 60 to 55 plays with this amount of depth and speed, boss, this is a top 3 defense, if not top 1.
Yeah.
If they can stay around 55 to 55 plays with this defense, these guys are going to be fresh and hungry. That is going to be now, but any defense that gets over 75, 80 plays, I don't care how good defense is going to break. But if you stay around 55 to 60 plays, that means your backup play the right amount of plays. Backups only are good for a certain amount of plays. People don't understand that. They say, oh, he's doing well. he's a backup, and I got him scheduled for like 15 to 16 plays. Yes, he's probably gonna give me his best at that. But when I get into 24, 25 plays, I'm gonna see the drop off.
Right on. Yep. Well, Coach, I'm finna get on out
All right,
here.
all right, boss. Appreciate it, brother.
Appreciate your call. Yeah, no problem, man. That was Coach Marv, and I'm getting ready to get out of here. But before I do, I know how it is. You know, when we sitting back, you know, we've been watching the content, and I appreciate it. Make sure before we get out of here, one of the most important things to do with Boss Cowboy Sports, with the content that we bring, is to like, share, and subscribe. But especially like, that's the minimum. You can even unlike it. I don't care. Whatever you feel, I want you to put it, you know. But make sure y'all do that. Obviously, that helps grow the channel, and y'all been doing that. Also, people that's been doing the cash apps, we really appreciate that. People that's been doing the super chats, we really appreciate that. And we really gearing up for way more content and better content, because we getting ready for training camp, and then we gonna be getting ready for the season. So there's gonna be a lot more concept stuff that's gonna be coming from Boss Cowboy Sports, the OC and I. We just, you know, getting on the same page on how to really produce the right type of quality content consistently, and we almost there. But we really appreciate the growth of Boss Cowboy Sports. We really appreciate those who continue to rock with Cowboy Nation through Boss Cowboy Sports, because especially around this time, this is where most people kind of fall off. They don't really tune back in generally into training camp until we start getting a lot of news. But the people that's listening right now, y'all are truly the eat, sleep, and drink Cowboy people. And let's just make more by continuing to spread the word on Boss Cowboy Sports, man. But again, man, y'all stay up. I really enjoy spending this time talking about the A+ of our team. The A+. Not the A-, not the C, not the politics, not the drama, not all the mess, not throwing your head coach under the bus. What part of us is flowing like ice cold water right now? With the exception of linebacker, it's our defense, man. And I'm just excited. We should all be excited. We still go enjoy this season, and we ain't gonna let nobody steal our joy. This is an A+ defense. Let's love it. Stay up. Peace.
Boss Cowboy Sports, where your voice matters. Boss Cowboy Sports.